Welcome back to Overland Trails Cooking with Dana. Tonight we're going to have barbecue quesadillas, and what that's going to consist of is some chopped barbecue beef from Hutchins, along with their sauce, as well as some freshly grated cheese and tortillas. Now, like I do with most anything else, I like to do prep before we hit the road, and so I went to Hutchins, got some of their chopped beef without sauce, and I like to do it without sauce. That way we can regulate how much sauce we have with our meal. So I've got the flat griddle heating up right now, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this started warming up. And I'm only going to use a portion of it because I'm going to save some of it and do some hash a little bit later in the week. So while this is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start grating some fresh grated cheese. And I know it's more convenient to just buy the already grated stuff, but when possible, I always try to use fresh grated because it just tastes so much better. There's some things you can skimp on and there's some things you can't, and whenever you get the opportunity to freshly grate your own cheese, do it. And this is about 2 cups of freshly grated cheese. That really ought to be enough for both Shannon and I. So I've got a baggie. I'll just put the rest of the cheese in. This is a Blackstone griddle. It's a 17-inch griddle, and we switched from just using a regular Coleman and cast iron to going with this because, you know, I used to be a waitress in a former life. I used to work in the back of the house of restaurants growing up before I moved to Dallas and Plano area, and I've just always loved having scrambled eggs, fried eggs, anything on a griddle. Get a little bit more, because I know Shannon gets very hungry, so I've got to make sure I've got plenty of chopped beef. And if you haven't had Hutchins, if you're in the Frisco or McKinney area, the best barbecue anywhere. Yeah, true. There's nothing like sizzling barbecue sauce. Now, if you'll notice, I'm keeping it on one side because it doesn't matter if you get barbecue remnants on your tortillas, but I'm trying to keep the hotter area over there where I'm going to actually put the tortillas a little bit cleaner from the barbecue sauce. Just makes it easier. And if you can get homemade tortillas, they're always better, but Mission does make a pretty good tortilla. I like to use the fajita size for my quesadillas. They're just easier to manage. And I've already sprayed the griddle with Pam. I'm just going to put these on. I do everything by touch. I don't follow recipes very well, but I used to work with a lady back at the Old West Steakhouse in Athens, which is closed now, but she told me how to heat up tortillas, and she said you want to be able to feel it bubbling underneath you before you turn it over. Ow. And it's hot. So I'm going to turn this down. add the cheese. I may have stuffed this a little too full, but I know how Shannon likes to eat. So I press it down, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. Maybe not quite flip it that high. What makes it easy for me doing stuff like this at camp is all the meal prep. Don't try to cook a brisket at camp unless you've just got half a day to smoke a brisket. I try to do as much as I can before the trip. Whenever I bought it from Hutchins, I then took it home and put it in a food saver bag like I did with some of the other stuff that I've cooked. And then that will keep it, I pull it directly out of the freezer and into the refrigerator whenever we got ready to leave. So I'm just gonna finish up this one, fold it over, and then it will be ready to eat. And that is cooking on the trails. Just let's have safe travels. Amen.
Amen. Good job, baby.
Blink, blink.
This is what it's all about right here, folks.